Everyone says don't trade on bank holidays, but this setup was too clean for me. And it was not just a bank holiday, it was also a Good Friday. So banks was closed, it was low volume, but look what the market did. So this is why blindly avoiding holidays can cost you opportunities. Most traders sat out, but I didn't. So let me quickly break down what I saw, and so that you could also, make use of it, especially being on a Friday. And yeah, it was also a Friday where markets kind of reverse, and or maybe it is choppy because Monday to Thursday is where the best moves are. So let me break down my trade, why I took. So this was on Friday, and if you look at Friday, this was the range. Let me draw the range. This was the range. But if you're looking for a quick scalp on the lower time frames, this is how you narrow it down. I mean, this really needs some X-ray vision because this is not easy. This is for traders who are a little advanced and been expecting something for London, and you would have seen this pattern happening a lot of time. In that case, you could definitely, take these kind of opportunities. Let me quickly, show you where I did take the trade. Bear with me. Let me draw the ranges so that you guys can see why I took. So this was the range. This was the huge big range on Thursday, which happened. This was, let's say you come on London and you see this 9 p.m. candle. This is a 9 p.m. candle. So usually I wait for the 1 a.m. to open. And guess what happened on 1 a.m.? You could see here we had a proper SMT cooking. Okay, look here. Let me draw that on a different color. There it is. Can you see here? On EU. So this was the confirmation I had. If you could see here, it is clear for you guys, right? I mean, if you could see here, this 1 a.m. candle on GU didn't go below the 9 p.m. candle, and already we had a small range cooking over here. This was the candle, so we had a proper SMT over here on GU, and now you switch to EU. Again, we had a range here, okay, and the 1 a.m. candle came down, took the liquidity of 9 p.m. candle, and that was the confirmation. DXY as well had similar to EU. So I'm not showing DXY here because the important point to mark out is between the SMT with GU and EU, because this is where market is going to reverse. So this is when I went to the lower time frames, and once again let me do the good old bar replay so that I can show you. Okay, somehow the replay is not working properly, but you get my point, right? Here it is. This was the here. You could see the SMT here, right? This is the SMT which you cooked at 1:15 a.m., whereas GU didn't go, and both had a proper OBs on the 15 minutes. You could definitely take this as an OB, this as an OB, and you could definitely take this as a OB and a breaker. And same here, OB and a breaker. Since we created a breaker there, the price didn't visit to the original OB, which was this one. Same on EU. Since we had a close here, we had a proper market structure shift. This is a shift. The market didn't play out to the FEG over here. We also had an FEG here. So if you could see here, your entry could have been when this close above. This should have been your proper entry, and you take till the CRT high, or this should have been your entry once this candle closed above. Once this candle closed above, the next candle was your entry. But if you are looking for a better RR, EU was the trade. You know why? Because this filled the FEG. This filled the FEG, and you could have narrowed down your stop loss right here. But if you're a beginner watching this, don't do it. Always keep your stop loss right here, which is the CRT low, which had the proper turtle soup on the 4 hour. But yeah, so this was a proper EU entry on the breaker, whereas GU didn't fill the FEG. I hope you guys can see the FEG, right? If not, let me mark it down. This was the 15-minute FEG where GU didn't properly fill in, whereas EU did go inside. This is on EU. Can you see? This candle filled inside, whereas on GU it barely tapped in and it just went flying. But this is where you should find an exit. I did exit before the kiss of death happened, because I knew EU is going to go for the high, whereas GU had an SMT again there. Can you guys see here? This was the SMT. This is when you are you should exit your trade. This was a proper exit. Let me show this on the 15-minute. No, let me yeah, here it is. You could see this candle, right? This was your confirmation to exit, because this one tapped the CRT high, and if you could see here the same candle on GU, here it is. This was the same candle on GU. Look where this candle was. This is when you're supposed to exit the trade. So I did take my portion, which was before the kiss of death, because you definitely know there is definitely going to be a kiss of death here, because this was the kiss of death SMT. This was the kiss of death SMT. If you could navigate, look at this. Look at this. GU was a guy who came down with an SMT, and we knew that this is going to push down, whereas simultaneously EU was taking the high. So that's your confirmation to exit, and this is when you should have taken your profits and straight away switched off your laptops, or if you're trading on your phone, straight away switch it off and go for a ride or go have fun, because you know that NY session is going to be a chop, because it's on a Good Friday. And look what market did. 9 a.m. open, it still went below, and this 5 a.m. candle just pushed right below. It was a big huge candle below. If you could see here the 5 a.m., can you see here? The 5 a.m. was a huge sell-off. So this is when Romeo says every entry is an exit, and every exit is also an entry. So according to Romeo, this was your exit, and this was also an entry here till the range low. So this is how it works. But if you're a beginner, you're watching this, and if you're taking this, if this is a lot for you, always enter the trade and exit, and then you finish it off, and you come back next day. Try to find opportunities during London if you're a London trader, and never do this when you take your profit and then reverse your trade to the other directions if you are a beginner, because you need to be a little experienced to find these kind of setups to your own eyes, because it is not easy, because you need at least 1,000 examples to find this kind of a setup where you can just trade up and down and up and down. So journal every trade, because if you don't journal, you just cannot find proper X-ray vision to spot the next day. So this is my trade breakdown on Geo, because I'm mostly a London trader. I usually don't check New York because New York is kind of wacky, and I prefer London because London is when you get the best order block entries, whereas New York is mostly a OTE, or a kiss of death, or a continuation, or a reversal. This is what is going to happen for New York. So if you want to position yourself exactly on the wick of a higher time frame, or even a higher time frame candle wick, then that should be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. But if you want to position on a wick on a 4 hour, this is exactly it. The 1 a.m. If you could see, you position yourself on the wick. And if you're a advanced trader, you would have done even more better with this lower time frame entry right here, which is not advisable if you're a beginner. So yeah, that's my take on GU and EU on a Good Friday, because most of them sat out because of bank holidays. I think the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow, they're all were on a holiday. Same with gold. Gold was also not working, but if you're a forex trader, you could have taken this opportunity on a Friday, being a low probability day. So this is why uh, I don't trade based on opinions. I trade based on structure. So if you understand the market, the day doesn't matter. So that's why you should journal. Do let me know on the comments if you want a video on how to journal every trade, so that you could have your own record of uh, the trades you have taken, and the trades you avoid, or the trades you have lost. So you need to journal everything, whether it's a win or a lose or a missed opportunity. You gotta journal all of them and keep it in your records. That's what I do, what I've been doing, I still do. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to find these kind of X-ray visions, because those journaled trades are very important for your weekends to go and check how the the week played out, so that you can register those kind of trades in your mind, so that when you come for the next week, you can follow those patterns happening over and over and again, because these patterns are just repeating over and over and again. It is nothing new over here. whatever videos I make, it is just happening every day, day in day out. Just that the candle might look different, might not look very clean. The cleanest doesn't happen always, but like how Romeo says, Romeo just, he just waits out to, you know, look for a clean, very clean setup to take an entry. Like these are all very clean setups which happen on a Friday, but it doesn't happen on every Friday. So don't think Fridays are going to give you a good clean setup. I'm not saying that, but I'm just giving you example that Friday being a bank holiday, and I believe we had 8:30 news as well. So that was maybe a consideration, but you don't have to worry about the news as well, because today being Monday, today is a lot of. Let me show you. Look at this. Today, you have bank holiday on Swiss, Euro, and GU. Look at this. Euro and GU have a bank holiday, and look what's happening on EU at the moment. Let me quickly show you what's happening so that you could see what's happening at the moment, which is live. Look at this. We closed above. This formed a proper bullish sentiment. And watch out the next one. It was just a continuation. Let me show you quickly where was the SMT, which you could have seen today. If you guys can see the SMT right now, do let me know in the comments. This is live market, and watch out. This was the SMT, and look at this. This was the SMT. I bet on the dollar. It would have been the same as EU. It wouldn't have taken this low. So this was SMT which happened, and you could have taken on GU. GU had a better RR. This one. This was the continuation trade. This is not easy to set up. I mean, spot on, because you would have expected something, something like this, this, and then this, and then maybe a retest, and then maybe you would have taken a shot over here to the whatever the 50% or the CRT low. But guess what happened? There was a bullish environment, and the market just reversed, and it just went straight up. Now this looks like a crazy RR, 1 to 7. And if you guys are watching, and if you have taken this on GU or EU, please let me know in the comments. So proud of you guys. If you had taken this, there was a fantastic trade. And look what's happening on the 5 a.m. candle. It's been a choppy market. Let me see what's going to happen. Yeah, see, it's a chop, and we are forming a FEG inside. We are forming a perfect key level inside. Watch out for this high to be taken. So 9 a.m. is cooking right now for a beautiful long. If it's gonna hold this key level, if you have this key level, then perfect long is cooking. Watch out, or even the 1 p.m. candle. So yeah, that's my analysis and breakdown on GU. I hope you guys found something useful. If so, please let me know in the comments, and do let me know what kind of videos if you'd like to watch. Comment below, so that I will be interested to shoot the video for you guys. Thanks for watching, and trade safe, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.